And to McWarriors, and welcome back to another episode of RogueTech as we get into the campaigns of Howl's Harrows. And last time, we got to test drive some really fun and interesting mechs. The Nightstar is by far one of my favorite mechs. It looks so cool, and it was very, very nice to have the ability to launch, just twin Gauss rifles at somebody. Just two Gauss rifles at the exact same time. So much fun. And then also, we were also able to test a catapult with a whole bunch of MRMs, which proved to be not quite as powerful as I thought it was, but still pretty gosh darn powerful. So we would like to eventually get up to that level of mechs. And so, along our journey to do that, we must turn the tables. A consortium of Tortugan manufacturers have been losing ground to a Davian competitor every fiscal quarter for years. It's time to turn the tables with one well-timed strike at the primary Davian manufacturing plant here on the Fitbelt system. This will be a 417 to Priority Salvage 2 Skull mission, 284,400 Seabills. So let us drop down and see if we can't cause a maximum amount of pain. We are, of course, going to be bringing the entire Demi Company. That is 8 full mechs, and it's going to be fun. Hopefully we're not actually stuck on this mountain, because that would be considerably less than fun. Come back over to Finn, please. I didn't mean to brace Finn, but okay. I don't think I'm trapped up here. We are going to find out in fairly short order, although Finn, I believe, was in. I don't know what Finn was in. So we do need to destroy base. I generally try to avoid base assault missions, but I got a little bit overexcited because I kind of wanted to take one sometime soon, maybe because I have the Burner Boy currently on the way, and I want to be able to utilize that mech at some point, hopefully in the near future. Once we do get to use that, it should make base assaults easier, or at least more manageable, because apparently flamers do absolutely insane amounts of damage to buildings, and that is something I definitely want to be able to take advantage of. The only trouble is the Burner Boy will not be ready for another 10 or so days, and there's only about 2 days before the end of the month. So we're going to take this mission and another mission today, and then maybe by that point the Burner Boy will be ready, and that'll be a lot of fun. I have the Kitsutsuke in the immediate slot before it, so once we have that done, that could also be a lot of fun. Although that is another mech on our Urban Mech Lance, and when that happens, I will take at least one mission with all of the Urban Mechs ready to go. So that'll be the Usagi, the Tombo, the Kitsutsuki, and the Hachi to round things out, which should be a lot of fun. The Lance is, of course, as follows. Howl is currently driving the Gladiator, sort of become her ride, except when she's test driving special brand new things. The Hammer is currently being used by Mockingbird, and Mockingbird will actually be featured in this battle. She will actually be involved for once. Finn inside the Javelin, which is, incredibly fast, so I'm not all that worried about him catching up. Coach in the Hachi, Death Crusade in the Tombo, with Paladin in the Phoenix Hawk, Jester in his Shadowhawk, and of course Paradox in the Wolverine. So with that all out of the way, let's just continue going as quickly as we can towards this base. It is a bit of a trip, that is one of the, I kind of do need to say, it is one of the downsides of the extra big battles that come with mission control. It does give you a lot more room to maneuver, but it also means that there is a lot more dead space between you and your objective. This is both just a massive help and also a massive hindrance. If you're just trying to get something done super quickly, as I think Test Drive kind of demonstrated, this can take a while, but it also gives you so much room to maneuver. You can string out the enemy, especially on assassination missions, absolutely hugely, even once they sort of fix that by sending even more lances up against you, which I have no doubt they're going to be doing. It still is something that you can sort of start using positioning to your advantages. Now that gives jump jets even more of an advantage going forward, especially with the way that it keeps spawning you inside of random terrain, which is less than ideal. But it also lets you cross different types of terrain much faster, but lighter, fast scout mechs that are able to harass and fall back, they have got a lot more room to work. So it's positive in that, but also negative if you're just looking for a quick brawl. So if you can start, how do I put it, customizing the experience to your preferences, that is one of the better things that Mission Control currently has going for it. There is, of course, 3 current levels of Mission Control. The first level, of course, being just expanded enemy lances, where they can field up to level 2s, I think it's called. I'm not quite up to date on the Comstar descriptions of how they describe their entire lance setup, because they don't actually use lances. They use level 1, 2, and 3. I think 3 is a company, 2 is a lance, and 1 is a point. But don't quote me on that. I'm going to have to look it up before we do the second version of that Avatar video, which, by the way, went up on Tuesday. And I hope you've seen it. If not, please go check out the channel. Tell me what you think. Very, very, very heavily inspired, read almost word for word a ripoff of Critical Rocket's style of video. He does the Lore Warrior series, where he basically goes through and reads the TRO about Well, he started with every mech that was in MechWarrior Online, and he started moving into the canon units that didn't show up in MechWarrior Online, which was a lot of fun. And because he hadn't done the Avatar, I figured, sure, why not? I'll do that. But I'm not quite sure if that's sort of the style I want to be doing for these things moving forward. I think I do kind of want to go through some of the mechs in RogueTech, just sort of describe the history behind them and what they are. Not to the extent of a Tech Stocks BattleTech, because let's be honest, nobody can quite match up to them. But just sort of chat about them, talk about how they react on the field of battle, at least in RogueTech, to a lesser extent tabletop. And just sort of a little bit more colorful history of how they came to be. We've got a yellow jacket and it needs to die. The rocket launcher actually is not a terrible chance to hit, but I'm going to save it. We did tag it, which is going to be great, assuming, of course, I can get other targets on, which I can. Oh, please tell me we can get a direct line of sight with... Oh, it doesn't look like it. Can I move other people out of her way so she can get a direct line of sight? The hammer is currently equipped with SAM LRMs. I want to use the SAM LRMs. Please give me updated target info. Do I? Oh yeah, because it's in grenade launcher range, but it's not actually in range to do anything else. All right, so Mockingbird is just going to have to get as close as she can. It will be an obstructed shot, which is very unfortunate, but it's tagged and she's got SAM LRMs. It's a 15% fire anyway. Let's see what happens. Well, no AMS intercepted it, which is helpful, but we didn't exactly manage to nail it either, so less than ideal. The Gladiator is definitely not going to be up to the task of knocking this thing out of the sky. I mean, I can fire both my snubs for no heat, so I'm going to do it. Yeah, we missed both times. I'm listening for... Okay, I was listening for anybody to say it's cutting through my armor or something like that, just because I didn't know if she'd accidentally hit somebody else. But no, she's good on that. Where was I? Oh yeah, the Avatar video. So... Again, I'm not sure if we managed to hit a friendly or not with that one. No. This is something you always need to be careful of, and I am just incredibly aggressive on. But yeah, the video that I want to do is going to be the next version that we're going to do, and it's sort of a test to see which people enjoy more. I have a feeling which style people are going to enjoy more, but I just sort of want to test it out. Whether or not they enjoy sort of the more TRO style of reading things, or if they want to go a little bit more in depth, a little bit more loose, and sort of having fun with it. And we will be putting that video out sometime... God, I want to say sometime in the next couple of weeks. It'll probably be sooner than that, but God, I have a lot on my plate. I've got to get the Mech HQ game fired up again. I've got to get a whole bunch of other stuff. We've got an Apollo over here, which is another archer, I believe, in terms of this placeholder. A couple of shots coming over toward the Javelin, not able to connect. We are safe and sound. Look at those big rings of ECM. Yellow Jacket moving forward. This is well equipped with heavy weapons, so duck whoever's about to get shot at by it. Oh, good. You've got a Gauss rifle. That's less than ideal. So we're going to hopefully shoot him down before he can do anything to us. And more incoming fire. And still no connections on the Javelin. That Javelin, of course, covered by its own electronic countermeasures, multiple other electronic countermeasures from the rest of the units, as well as being, well, incredibly fast with a fairly decent pilot. You throw all these things together and you have a wonderful combination of somebody who doesn't get hit all that often. Although, if they get in close, then it's going to get really ugly really fast. Relying on our electronic countermeasures works to a point. Another Yellow Jacket. This is unfortunate. Everybody duck, because Gauss rifle or rack. Another Gauss rifle. Okay, so we're dealing with two Gauss rifles at this point. I don't know if they're light or not. I kind of want to say they are, just because, you know, it's not that big a unit. It's only, what, how many tons? That was a level of tonnage that I can't see anymore. Can I actually see? It's only 30 tons. I mean, you can actually cram a 30-ton... You can absolutely cram a 30-ton weapon on that. Yeah, should we shoot? Not the MMLs because they have a chance of jamming, but I will double tap with the PPCs. Both of them managed to miss only by 7 and 2%. We came really close to killing that. Unfortunately, not quite all the way there. Gonna rush on forward. We are gonna provide a little bit more ECM protection. I think I will actually fire my listen kills at them because it's fairly decent accurate. And the fire the autocannon. Autocannon off into the middle of nowhere. And then good hits from the MMLs. Also, unfortunately, the X-Pulse laser, not all that accurate. Death Crusade or Coach? I think Coach, because the Hachi can get basically right up on top of it. And once it's there, hopefully we can kill something. Oh yeah, that's gonna be 69% because it's Artemis. Artemis ignores some evasion as well as just has additional accuracy onto it. So the Artemis SRMs are just proving to be wonderful. Death Crusade can now start to engage the other one from longer-ish range. He also has a tag that he can hopefully get a target. I am sort of running between broken cover, but I'm not that worried about it if I'm completely honest. We get to blast everything. 2 hits on, so that's not terrible. All right, in a good place on that one. The Javelin also going to do a fairly similar thing. I'm not going to go up on that ridge because there's multiple mechs and potentially, by potentially I mean absolutely turrets, mainly a Thunderbolt, which I don't want to be anywhere near. No rocket pod just yet. Even more hits from the scattering of medium lasers. So he's managed to hit 3 times with medium lasers, or at least I think. One did 16 damage, which seemed to be light. Ultra autocannon, not particularly great accuracy. I'll shut off the SRMs and we'll just sort of rapid fire towards him. Managed to hit him with one of the shots despite the 28% accuracy. Not terrible. Phoenix Hawk, will you be able to get a shot as well? You'll have the shot, it's just not going to be all that accurate. I'll shut off 2 of the medium lasers and we'll just open fire into it. Maybe should have blitzed it with everything I had, but I'm kind of probably going to rely on the hammer to fully take it out. It is vulnerable, although if it moves now, it's going to be considerably less vulnerable. What is this? We've got a Prowler multi-terrain vehicle and that Apollo. Apollos are 55 tonners, so they're fairly solid to steal. A whole bunch of incoming missiles, although those look like listen kills based on the trail, but clearly they were not because they missed. Mockingbird, yes, you're here with the SAMs, yes? You can get a direct line of sight, yes? It's got to be from well beyond effective range, isn't it? Yeah, this is probably not going to be all that accurate. Shut off the medium lasers because I'm not going to rely on them. Instead, I will rely on my SAM launchers. Oh, I was so hoping it knocked it out of the sky. We did get several hits and did actually cause some critical hits onto it. Unfortunately, it's not dead, which is, you know, less than ideal, and I don't think we're going to be able to stop it from moving. A whole bunch more incoming missiles, unless those were Thunders. They completely missed. If those were Thunders / Fastcam, then that's going to suck a lot, because mines are just incredibly painful to deal with, as we have found out in extensive detail in our Apollo's Vipers campaign. Not yesterday's one, but the one before on Saturday. We were just absolutely surrounded by mines, and it was some incredible bullcrap to deal with. It was dealing like 40-something damage to us because it deals an amount of damage to both legs, and just it becomes a problem really gosh darn quick. Yellow Jacket backing up. Doesn't look like he's actually being super effective right now, so I will rush on along, get a side angle shot on him. Oh, that's good accuracy. Do I rocket launcher? I'm on the opposite side, so no. Okay, good. I'm very, very glad that I didn't rocket launcher. Alright, so we were able to utilize just our medium lasers to take that one down. So now we're dealing with none of the VTOLs and just 2 defenders at this one, as well as a whole bunch of turrets. We've got a standard turret chassis, a Thunderbolt placement up here. Come on, there's got to be at least 2 more turrets. I refuse to believe that is all we're dealing with. Alright, let's get the Wolverine on forward. This will allow it to have... Oh, it can get a line of sight. Let's do that. 28% and 13 with the SRM. We're not going to bother with the SRM. We'll just open fire with the Ultra Autocannon. We can basically ignore all of the recoil on it thanks to the arm that it has, as well as the pilot. It generates 2 recoil when it fires, and thanks to our pilot, as well as the recoil actuator, it generates no recoil. So we can just, you know, blast away as much as we ever want. It's a lot of fun to actually be able to do. Start to bring together all of our defense on this one. We can also start lobbing, you know, fire. This is risky because it can land on us. Oh, we got it. So we did manage to nail it with one of our acid grenade launcher rounds. Acid grenade launcher rounds makes us sound really, really evil. Not gonna lie. And one of our MMLs is jammed. This is unfortunate. I will walk forward, maybe. Yeah, we'll walk on forward into the ECM bubble and then protect, which will maybe. Yep, it unjammed our MML, which is lovely. The Phoenix does not have a target at the moment, nor am I particularly inclined to hop over top to get shot at. So what instead I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over to the side, so I'm still within a hopping range should I desire it, but also I get to chill out for this round to be extra engaged, or at least futurely engaged. Shadowhawk will start to sprint forward. It should probably be at the front. Oh, that's so nice. All of our electronic countermeasures have been centralized. Now, these Thunderbolts do not need a line of sight to shoot at us. They can just fire over the top and lob at us, and the Wolverine may even be vulnerable to that. I'm kind of interested to see that they haven't done so already. Incoming missiles did not manage to connect, so good on us for that one. And then I assume the Apollo is going to rush on forward as well. Are you actually a... What are you? You are actually an archer. Okay. It's a mini archer. In the same way that our hammer is a mini archer purely because it needs a placeholder model. They are still working on bringing in basically every single, you know, model ever thought to be modeled and placed into the game. Still working on it. Okay, we've got some incoming missiles, lots of incoming missiles. Luckily for us, our ECM is impenetrable. Not a single connection on the Wolverine, which is lovely. And here come the Thunderbolts. Oh, thermal barracks for everybody. That's less than fun. Okay, so everybody took a little bit of heat damage, which is obviously less than ideal, and a little bit of stability damage to go with it, so that's gonna be painful as we move on forward. I think I may even just ignore him for a bit. Rush on in, let's go find out what we're dealing with. Oh crap, somebody's hacking me. We do have a standard LRM turret of some description. Who is the guy hacking me? Is it the terrain vehicle? It is the terrain vehicle, and I can't get accurate fire on anybody except the standard turret chassis. Oh, that is less than ideal. I'm gonna rocket launcher and shut off one of my 16 medium lasers, which apparently does not work as well as I was hoping. I shut off too. We want to keep under the heat for now because things could get ugly really quick. So we have managed to tag the Prowler multi-terrain vehicle. I do want to kill him as soon as we possibly can because the Prowler right now is providing a defensive shield which we really can't afford to have around as long as we want to be able to actually take it. That's not good. You missed everything. We don't want to be shot at by all those incoming missiles, and one of the things we need to do in order to ensure that we get shot at by the fewest number of missiles is we need to kill all of the enemy before they can do anything. This should hopefully put me in range of this Prowler, and we're going to turn on all of the missile launchers. Really terrible chance because, you know, he's jamming the crap out of us. Oh, that was really bad. She managed to plant both of those snubs into the dirt. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill this Prowler this round. The Hachi, can you actually get a shot on a direct line of sight? Can you get it? No, not really. And your jumps are not exactly phenomenal. So I'm actually going to rush on to... Yeah, it's got to be here. Rush onto here. Take aim at... Oh, I'd love to be at you. Ooh, grenade launcher can actually have a fairly decent shot at the thermal bolt emplacement. You don't have multi-target, so it's one or nothing. Grenade launcher actually look at a really good accuracy all around the board. I think what I want to do is show me the... Yeah, show me the building. Fire! 50% chance to hit. Which, I don't know if we hit, but we did apparently penetrate some armor, but that might have been the building it was on. Alright, the Phoenix Hawk can probably actually get into a range where she can see the terrain vehicle. She can, or not she. Sorry, I'm so used to Howl being in it. It's he. Lasers on for the Paladin. Oh, that's the wrong target. Well, the Apollo knows that we know about him. I doubt Mockingbird is going to be able to get a shot in, except with her LRMs, which, you know, she has access to. Let's get Paradox moving forward as well. See if Paradox can get a direct line of sight. There we go. And give me the Prowler this time. SRM's on. We're going to double down, try not to hit your buddies. Okay, so this Prowler is just going to survive because of all of that jamming going on. It is very, very unfortunate. Let's sprint on forward. This mech will stay far enough back, hopefully, in order not to be seen by the enemy. Show me the Prowler. Yeah, that's really bad. 16% on all of the vehicles out there. Okay, show me the thermobolt emplacement. Turn them all on. Set them to... Not that... Oh yeah, you have Inferno MMLs. But no, you're going to set them to normal LRMs, because 21%. I've got SAM and normals. And fire at the thermobolts. Let's just give it a little bit of pain. Alright, good job. Maybe I should have tried to wipe out the building. That might have done something. Alright, we've got the Shadowhawk left, which of course will swing in with all of its wonderful ECM protection, which might actually keep us alive to what's about to happen. Got to shut off the cannon, listen kills to fire anyway. And look at how close he came to actually shooting them on. Wasn't even watching him shoot at the Prowler, just watching him to see whether or not he hit allies on that one, which he did not. Okay, in comes all of the enemy. This ought to be painful. But at least in this next round, we should be able to shoot at that Prowler multi-terrain vehicle without having to worry about us having sprinted. Apollo gonna move up closer to us, gonna fire everything at the Wolverine. The Wolverine got really lit up by that one. That's a lot of medium pulse lasers, buddy. How badly damaged was that? Oh, he multi-target, managed to hit once on the Gladiator as well, so he's kind of spreading the love, which is obviously less than ideal because we don't like that. Oh, he's really spreading the love. He's firing at 3 different targets already. So the Wolverine took the most of that, and then the Gladiator, and then the Shadowhawk took even more on that one. And is this the Prowler? Oh no, the Wolverine took chip damage mostly, so it is relatively okay so far. I'm not all that worried yet about what's happening to it, but that could change in fairly short order. Please stop doing that game. Okay, the Prowler is going to open fire on the Phoenix Hawk. Looks like it didn't get too many hits, so we are being protected both by our ECM, the coverage from the 2 smaller mechs, as well as the fact that the Phoenix Hawk is fairly fast. Lasers striking out on the Javelin, managing to miss it and strike at our Urban Mech, which is not ideal. And they keep firing at the Javelin, and they keep missing and nailing the Tombolt. And now some incoming fire on the Phoenix Hawk. A couple of hits, but nothing too severe so far. Doesn't look like they were Inferno rounds. I would look to reset my camera because it's bugging the heck out of me. Add more thermal barracks, but no direct hits.
I'm under heavy fire.
Yeah, we noticed. Can I have my camera back, please? Look at the Tombolt. Oh, it just got nailed. Please do not antagonize the people who have just demonstrated. They can basically wipe us out. The Hachi can move right up close and personal with him. Unfortunately, that's not very good. That's really, really terrible. I think I'm going to have to do it anyway.
I got you.
Oh, good. 74% chance. And close range grenade launcher? No, can't risk it. We'll take damage to ourselves, and that's not acceptable. So we have managed to open him up. He is now vulnerable. One more round of shooting will remove his protection, which, you know, that's going to be very, very useful. So we'll shift on over here, which also is making us incredibly vulnerable. So we're going to have to kill a lot of things very closely. This is why I saved this, because I have to fire everything to apparently miss. You had 75% chances of nailing that, and you failed.
I'm ready.
Okay, the Phoenix Hawk? Yeah, the Phoenix Hawk. I am not screwing around with this vehicle. I also don't want to cook, so we'll shut that off, and... Oh, God. If I do this, I will cook this mech. 57, yeah, it's gotta be. Oh, this mech is never gonna cool down. Would you people please actually try and win, as if you were considering getting victory in the battle?
Generating a lot of heat here, boss.
I've noticed. Unfortunately, you also managed to hit some friendlies, so I'm not super feeling all that bad for you. Yeah, I've got to just keep the fire going. Everything you got. There we go. Okay, so that's dead. That took way more effort than I needed to, but hey, it's dead now, so Howl can now start focusing on the more dangerous things, such as the buildings. I wonder if I actually take out the building that it's on top of, if I would actually destroy the entire thing. That's a question for another day, but for now, let's just fire. And that's how you take out a thermal barrack command bunker. So taken care of, that's good. She is starting to cook a little bit, but we can get that under control in relatively short order. I need Paradox, and Paradox's Wolverine will start to shift on over here. We don't have to worry about the incoming damage that is going to come courteous, of course, to the lasers or the turret. Yeah, you're the one that needs to die. Fire! So the rotary autocannon, of course, needs to be our primary target. I'd love to be able to focus on the swarm LRMs or whatever that thing is, but let's be honest here, that thing better die or we're all going to. Now, she does have Inferno SRMs, but I don't think I'm quite in range to use them. No, we're not. So we're just going to fire a whole bunch of LRMs that way. So that'll be 10 shots. And doing okay in the number of hits. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough damage. The Tombo needs to chill out, but the Tombo really actually needs to run. So what the Tombo is going to do is exactly that. We're going to get way back here, and then we're going to hold position, and that'll get it away from being just massive shot at by that Rack 2. I'm really hoping that Rack 2 is actually jammed, firing 6 times and just did an amazing amount of damage. Okay, the Apollo is going to shoot the hammer a lot, and the hammer is mostly okay. I'm actually rather surprised that the hammer's in as good shape as it was, just based on how much fire it took, and a little bit of fire into the Wolverine, but nobody cares. So we need to get the Phoenix Hawk out of here because the Phoenix Hawk is cooking. We need to do something about the Gladiator's heat, which we can do just by not firing certain weapons. And you are overheating, and I can... the hammer getting shot at a lot here. Mockingbird, keep dancing. I can take care of him now. The hammer can go after him, and all the misses. Quite a few hits, but the hammer is tough and can take it, as we've seen demonstrated, which is lovely. Okay, that's the Rack 2. So the Rack 2 also managed not to connect on us, so the hammer just being extra alive and special on that one. Okay, so the Javelin is boiling, and the Javelin doesn't have anything that can explode, so that is somewhat helpful. But I kind of don't want it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift back over here so that I can get a basic overheat repair going on here. And brace, and if he shuts down, then he'll be protected. The thermobaric effect should wear off this turn, but we're going to want to get that done kind of soon. I am going to take care of him with the hammer. I could just push the Phoenix Hawk, though. If I really push the Phoenix Hawk, I can wipe this guy out.
Roger that.
So that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to shove this line super hard. How do you even... we're just going to get over it. So Paladin, unfortunately, not able to connect with things and has shut down. This means that the Shadowhawk will now be able to maneuver forward and be ultra aggressive and in people's face. Hi, buddy. I have all of the weapons designed just to kill you. Fire. Managed to actually hit something with that AC-10, as well as most of the missiles. Howl should actually be able to finish this off. So what Howl's going to do, Howl managed to jam both of her guns. So both of her MMLs are currently jammed, but she does have a pair of PPCs, and she shall open fire. And rip big holes in it, which is lovely. Coach in the Hachi should have no trouble finishing this off, thanks to the crit hunting that this mech is fully capable of doing. We're going to hide a little bit behind things. That way we're less likely to get shot at by, you know, all of the crazies. I was kind of hoping for a little bit better crit, but it did not end up working out. That's okay. I have other mechs, I believe. Yeah, I've got Paradox and Mockingbird. Mockingbird, on the other hand... Ooh, Mockingbird not going to be able to do as well as I was hoping. Because what Mockingbird's plan is, she got to get right up next to him. Actually, she can't get that.
Commander?
Paradox in your Wolverine. Do you have a shot there? You do, and you have shooting. Oh, you do not have shooting scoot. So we are going to have to actually get in range. So let's sprint on in there. We will, of course, be the biggest target for everybody to look at and shoot at. Hi, buddy. I'm just going to shoot you. And that takes out that command bunker. Oh, double heatsink kit. We couldn't get it anyway, but hey, it's gone now. So now we have to deal with the laser turret and the rack turret. The rack turret has jammed. Okay. So what Mockingbird will now do is Mockingbird needs to kind of keep with the group. And unfortunately, she's facing the wrong direction to be able to, you know, just do stuff to people. That'll be 56%. 10 of them at 5 is 50. That is potentially a shutdown overheat, but this would be very, very risky. I think I'm gonna try it though. The mech's in relatively good shape right now, and we're just going to blast you with all the Inferno SRMs we've got. So plus 45 heat has done a number on him, and Death Crusade could get involved, but Death Crusade will not get involved because Death Crusade is currently dying. In fact, I'm just gonna brace him. So that will hopefully get the heat under control. Now you are just totally cooking, and he's also on fire, and he couldn't do anything. Oh no, he's gonna open fire anyway. But we got a penetrating hit. Structure exposed. Okay, your arms are mostly fine.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
That's a penetration of the back. Did 1 internal structure damage. The Wolverine tanking a couple of laser shots. Nothing too special though. So it does have that mostly under control. And handled. Okay, lovely. You are, yeah, you're on fire. You're not coming back from that. The Javelin will chill out, get itself back under heat control. And it's time for the... do we move? Yeah, we move to the next one because she's going to have that mech shut down and he's never going to turn on ever again. That has been fully sorted out. So the enemy does not get to reactivate at any point because she's got Inferno SRMs and she's got enough of them that she can just keep it locked down the entire time. Show me the turret. Thank you. Apparently it had ballistics at some point. Doesn't anymore. And fire everything. You missed with the big gun, which is unfortunate because we kind of wanted to rip through his armor at that point. Mockingbird is now just going to... actually, can you... No, you can't. But what you can do is shift right on over here. Take aim. And let's turn it to Inferno rounds for everybody. We don't need to do this. This is... In fact, I'm not going to. Just to make sure that we keep it under control. And that's gonna shut you down. Okay, so we have that under control. Death Crusade, now that we have shut that mech down, although I am a little bit worried about the Rack 2s. Death Crusade will reserve. I don't want to put him in too much danger just yet. It is obviously quite dangerous. Her MMLs are still busted at the moment, which is less than ideal. Can I get a shot on that turret? I have a very limited number of places where I can actually get shots on that turret. So this is, of course, one of them. And there it is. Twin 76s. Look at how much heat she sheds just by not shooting her MMLs. It's kind of ridiculous. This mech is just... It's a beautiful amount of protection. I don't want to move the Hachi just yet. I will, however, move the Wolverine. The reason why I don't want to engage with the Hachi just yet is because the Hachi will be great for trying to hunt penetrating criticals. Do we know what you've got yet? That rotary cannon's back online. That is less than ideal. Okay, target you and everything we've got to open him up. And so now it's exposed, and we can hopefully crit it to death, which is why I've saved the Hachi for now, because the Hachi can rush on in with the twin Artemis 6s and probably even go dead fire on this, although I'm not sure on that one. Do I have an angle from anywhere? I have an angle from way off here. So a little less than ideal. I'm not entirely sure if that angle works, like at all. Just in terms of SRM range. 30%. No, I don't have many other options. Show me that turret, please. Yeah, it is 30%. Do we cook? We cook. It's not much of a cook. More acid damage onto it. Double heat sinks destroyed. Unfortunately, that's not going to matter for that turret because that turret doesn't do anything with heat anyway. And onto phase 17. Yeah. Did he just explode? Oh, yeah, he did. His ammunition just exploded, and we're just going to keep him under control the entire time. Like he's done. Our mech, on the other hand, it won't start up, but it doesn't matter because there's nothing that can explode on that mech, which is beautiful. Your medium lasers will actually not be effective or capable of doing anything to that turret. What I can do is I can sprint around here, and I can start skirmishing with you down here. Hi, buddy. I'm going to shoot your head just repeatedly until maybe you eject. So, head hit, target, pilot injured. And is that going to be a knockdown? That's going to be a knockdown. Is he going to fall back into the flames? Oh, I think he is. And he's into the fire. An unfortunate position for him to be in. Hammer duck. Okay, only one hit from the AC, from the rack 2. So that's okay.
Minimal damage.
Although she's going to get shot at by the lasers as well. Luckily for us, managed to miss with that large laser, so that's all taken care of. Lovely. And we should be able to wipe out most of this in this coming round. Coach. Right, so the Hachi is going to finish off this turret. I mean, that much is guaranteed. So I'm just going to rush right on over here.
All right, let's
I'm going to shut off this grenade launcher. Ooh, I got to shut off an entire SRM launcher. Give me that turret that we were mostly taking out. And the acid still didn't kit it. We haven't gotten it fully taken care of just yet. Okay, Finn. Finn will be able to actually get involved with anything he wants to. I'm going to see if he can actually get involved with the big turret over there. Sprint, please. Yes, I want to get into a gun battle with the turret. Now this will overheat him, but it's not that big of a deal. We'll just lob a couple of blasts at him. We did manage to tag it, which is helpful. Not hugely helpful, but a little bit. And Howl, yeah, Howl can take care of this. Howl has her risk MMLs back, so she's actually not going to bother. What she's going to do is she's going to try and rush on to the next turret, but it's a bit crowded in here.
Okay.
So let's see what we can actually fight.
Full throttle.
Wait, what? Ooh, apparently my... What? Did I activate your shit? On target from the... Goodness sake. Okay, if I want to look at Howl, I have to blow up something else first. Okay, so apparently none of this is being accurate, so just fire at this. Turret is still not dead. Okay, that's irritating.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Yeah, but you didn't kill it. And also it looks like your mech has been damaged or destroyed? It said the radical double heatsink was destroyed, but it's looking like it's just in perfect condition right now. Pilot hasn't taken any injury so far. Engine crit. Okay, so it was. Right, so that's going to require a little bit more work in order to manage the heat a little bit better on that mech. Because we did probably push it a bit too far. What we ended up doing was we just sat there and we kind of, well, let it sort itself out instead of actually paying closer attention to how that thing was actually going to shake out. Which obviously led to quite painful instances of an engine crit. Okay, Tombo slipping on back. It's perfectly fine for now. He'll pop out of cover again and destroy things. It'll be great, but... Okay, so who's jamming out here? Because somebody's jamming. Okay, so I've actually got a really good shot on this one. That's phase 20, so I've still got Mockingbird to go through, as well as Jester to go through. And Jester, I don't think, is actually involved in this fight right now. Oh, no, he is. Of course he is. Fire that. Oh, we got some penetrating hits on the quad gun already. That's nice.
Target's taking a critical hit.
Yes,
Alright, Mockingbird, you can try and take care of him, but you really don't need to yet. So what you're going to do is you're going to set your launchers to normal on LRMs, and you're just going to provide a little bit of long-range fire support over, off, not at you, but at you, because, right, I still have, yeah, Jester still needs to gauge. So some long-range LRMs did manage to crit it to death, so that's been taken care of.
that's a kill.
And one more turret is all that is needed to win, or at least aside, of course, from the Apollo. But the Apollo we have handled. Risk MML 2 off? No, AC 10 off. And the X-Pulse. And we'll just flood it with some more listen kill ammo. So kind of lucky for us that there were no AMS turrets here at all, which is really helpful.
Turret destroyed.
Alright, that's lovely. So now he on the ground. And he's just, no, he's not getting on.
Hey there.
Alright, Paradox, turn that Wolverine around.
Roger.
Just shoot at his head. We're going to see if we can't kill him. Okay, a bunch more shots to the head. Dude, if I were you, I'd bail. I don't know if you can bail, actually, since your mech is offline. We'll be finding out soon. Don't stand too close to it. We don't, of course, want to accidentally kill ourselves. Shoot for the head.
Firing all weapons.
And he's dead. Looks like, unfortunately, we blew up the engine kit. Oh, we lost a double heatsink kit. So that is less than ideal.
Receiving you.
Finn, your javelin is a bit toasty at the moment, but we can take care of that by just not firing a couple of medium lasers. Your javelin will be perfectly under temperature again after we start laying into these buildings. And you can actually stand there. Since everybody on the enemy team has been defeated, we have no concerns anymore. Take aim at at that building. Turn these on, send them to dead fires, because we're on building destruction duty now. And the additional 15 damage per shot is lovely. Just completely annihilated a building in one salvo. It's beautiful. This mech is just so wonderful. Lock it down because we don't need to move. Mockingbird, let's test out your MMLs on a building. Not that building, something that's got pretty much full health. So set it to Inferno SRMs and fire everything. Because I've been told they do additional mass 13 damage to buildings. Yeah, that's not bad.
Brought it down, Commander.
So she can deal 130 damage to buildings just with her MMLs. Although she does seem to jam them a lot, which is a little bit less than ideal. We do, of course, fire them a lot, so there is that. You know what? I'm just gonna chill.
Holding here.
I don't want this mech to build up any more heat right now. Okay, I don't know what the... We're still learning our way around the radical double heat sink kit. Next turn, the Phoenix Hawk should be able to turn on, but we knew what we were getting into when we initially did that to it. So we were fully aware that we were going to be a little bit nuts on it. Set it to normal SRMs just so we have the additional ammo. And bring down more buildings. One more building and we'll have this all sorted out, and then we can lift off and get on out of here.
Ready for orders.
So Finn, it's up to you. There's a final building right there. Fire everything you got.
Target acquired.
There we go. So the manufacturing plant has been flattened. All the turrets are destroyed, as well as, unfortunately, we did lose that double heatsink kit, which I really would have liked. But there might be a couple of light Gauss rifles there, because I don't think the Yellow Jacket was carrying a full-on Gauss rifle. I mean, it's only a 3-ton difference, so maybe it is. And after all, we have built an urban mech that has a Gauss rifle on it, so we can't say too much about them not having Gauss rifles. 310,880 C-bills is a reward for a job well done. The hammer got a penetrating hit. The Gladiator is not fieldable and does look like it has an engine crit. Hopefully that will be an easy-to-fix problem. So a pair of Blackwell Gauss rifles, which I have been reminded, jamming is different from a misfire. So a 15% flat jam chance mitigated by gunnery still kind of sucks compared to a not jamming chance. I really don't like it. But it won't break the gun. So that is something to keep in mind. I may end up taking these just in order to fill out my Gauss rifle collection even larger. I do, of course, love Gauss rifles. 40 ton, no. 180 ton, no. Artemis 4, no. I have a ton of these. Guardian ECM, I don't know if I have a ton. I have one, so I'm good on that one. Double Gauss, I like Double Gauss. Double Gauss is much more efficient. Kinetic Kill. Plus 10 damage, plus 10% to all range brackets, 25% increase to armor damage, and minus 25% to structure damage. So this thing will deal what? Show me that Thunderbolt, the normal Thunderbolt. So a normal Thunderbolt 10 is dealing 55, 65, plus half of, well, it's close enough to 15. So 70 damage. 70 damage to armor is not bad at all. How many Thunderbolt 10s do I have? I already have one, so taking another would actually get me on a path to getting even more. I'm not sure if I want to do that, though. Okay, what else we get? So let's go through the list. There is the Apollo part, which I don't think I've ever run into an Apollo before, so it's not the biggest pickup, but it does put us in a position, should we blow out an XL engine on one of these mechs, we get it. Telos, no. I'm not really in the market for LRM 15s. We have MMLs, and they're much nicer, although picking up the first one wouldn't be terrible. Medium pulse lasers. I like pulse lasers for crit hunting. They're really fun. I'm actually leaning on that a little bit. If you're going to go MPLs, I think Inner Sphere MPLs are okay. Sprague has an entire spreadsheet that he went through, that he created, that he does not like a lot of weapons. Thunderbolt would be interesting, but very vulnerable to AMS. So... minus 30% chance of being intercepted, apparently. Engine cores, absolutely not. I mean, a 40 rated fusion core, that came out of the helicopters. Those you sell, because you can't use them. Well, in some things you might, but most things you can't. Engine core 180 is kind of on the small side. I mean, for medium mechs, it's on the small side, so I'm not super into it. We have 4 other Artemis 4 fire control systems, not even a concern. The double heatsink, also not really a concern. I've got 6 of them. I don't need LRM ammo. Do I need LRM Artemis? I could use them if I actually want to field it, but I don't think I'm ever... I'm using an Artemis 3 right now. Right, because of because it gives me an accuracy bonus on my SAMs as well as my Inferno SRMs. For the hammer is what I'm thinking. And I think I'll stay content with that. Plus, we're going to get most of this equipment anyway. We got 13 other pieces of salvage, so let's see what we roll. So we managed to get to the LRM-15, which is a good pickup. We did not get the Thunderbolt 10, a little bit unfortunate. A pair of medium pulse lasers, which we asked for. Got a Magna medium pulse laser, which is nice. So we've picked up 3 medium pulses on this little mission alone, which is not bad. I haven't built a pulse laser mech, but we will eventually. We did pick up the Artemis, and we also got all the fusion cores on that one, and a little bit more LRM ammo that we didn't really need. And we have various types of Thunderbolt ammo. Not terrible. Not amazing, but not terrible. There wasn't a lot of amazing equipment here. I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit more, if I'm honest. I'm not disappointed with the findings, especially not with, a pair of Blackwell Gausses and a pair of double ammos, which is nice. So the double ammo, just the efficiency is what appeals to me so much, because I give all of my Gauss rifles, unless they're on an urban mech, at least 2 tons of Gauss rifle ammo. So if I'm going to do that, I may as well give myself the double and get the additional 25%, which is a lot of fun. So picking up even more of that, we're getting quite the collection of Gauss rifles. We have a lot at this point. I think I've got a Silver Bullet Pirate, a Clan Gauss, 1 or 2 normal ones, and now I've got 2 Blackwell ones. So I'm not sure I would want to use the Blackwells because that 15% jam chance is just ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't jam. I know it has an additional accuracy, but I don't think it... Ooh, the Yarn folks starting to get a little bit feisty with us Tortugans. We may have to turn around and show them Yarn folk their lesson. I'm not sure if we're actually allied or not with them. I still can't quite understand the map. I've been told to head in a direction, and so I'm going to start heading in that direction once I travel, but it's a little bit weird, and I'm like, wait, where do I go? We are learning as we go through this faction war. Okay, so the Wolverine took the most amount of damage, although I do want the Gladiator up top, because I don't know how long that engine fix is going to be. Really, quite a few of these mechs took quite a pounding. So yeah, I want to make sure the Gladiator's in the top, and I'm going to have the Gladiator and the Wolverine in top. And then everybody else can follow. So we're going to need to be chilling for a couple of days. And let her keep working at it. I lost an AC5, who cares? And Showboat gets low spirits. So losing an AC5 is no big deal. Because I have Ultra AC5s. And Ultra AC5s are great. And normal AC5s, not so much. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not like... I'm not going to stop and go, oh my god, this piece of equipment is... Wait, stop the clock, I didn't say keep going. I didn't tell you to keep ticking. Show me my Gladiator. I have a little bit of a fix I've got to do, unfortunately. The Radical Double Heatsink kit kind of exploded. But we can fix for 3,000 in 3 days. It's cheaper than I thought it'd be. So that exchanger helping out in order to keep the entire thing under control. Get the Gladiator back to the top, as we're going to be chilling for a few more days. We have more mission... Ooh, actually, we're going to run towards the end of the episode. So is that all of my mechs currently fixed and ready to go? Yeah, looks like it. Aside, of course, from all of these, you can go to the top, and that'll cycle us through, and we'll have everything ready to go very soon. So just another few days, and stop. There's the Katsuki. It's at 6 days, and the Burner Boy at 11. The Burner Boy probably won't be actually finished until we travel, which is a little bit sad, because I kind of want to get the Burner Boy to do a little bit more. I want to actually field it. Death Crusade has managed to level up his gunnery, so he's 5s across the board. He is now a base level pilot, and pirate, because after 5 is when you start being able to use your gunnery mitigation, which is dumb, but I'm not going to talk too much about it. Paladin has leveled up. Paladin can get a +2 health, which is not super important. The maximum sprint, that is pretty gosh darn important. And this is just an indirect fire penalty or bonus. And gunnery, of course, is just the normal plus gunnery. He's not actually getting any... plus 10% range is not bad, but he's not getting any recoil bonuses. So I am going to go with the maximum sprint, because that's pretty powerful for positioning. Also, it'll mean that I get to keep his +1 max evasion and parallax. I get to keep the Phoenix Hawk on the ground more often, which is good. Because the Phoenix Hawk needs to stay on the ground, because if it flies, it cooks itself. We need more double heatsink kits. Alright, so let's go check out the other contracts. Let's see if we can't pull out something quick. He does his own stunts for a half skull. No, it's got to be something a little bit more difficult. At least in the single or single and a half. Is there a straight up battle around here? I was going to do biological sample. Forward observers is a Davian mission. It might not actually be terrible taking. It is a straight up battle. It'll pay out pretty good. Dude, we're really kind of pushing the limits of an episode here. Yeah, we're going to do it. Do you know why? Because I like battles. Because I crave and enjoy my battles. Get everybody all situated back in here. I want... Oh, you're the Usagi. We're not going to bring the Usagi on this one. It's a little bit less than ideal. Mockingbird in the Hammer. We've moved her up in the world a little bit. Coach in the Hachi, I think. Right, Coach, you're the next... Oh, no, you're not. Finn is. So Finn can go in there, and you can be in the Tombo. Alright, let's drop down and see if we can't cause some pain. But yeah, so taking a straight up battle at 2 skulls will probably be outnumbered a little bit. I'm kind of hoping that it is just a straight up battle though, so that we can get things out. But 2 skulls is potentially good salvage. That puts us in the range for a lot of medium mechs. Maybe we'll run into a Nova, because I'm at this point 90% sure that the Nova actually was something that I sold. And that we had parts to a Fury Nova. I'm almost 90% positive that that's the case. And so I missed the opportunity to get my hands on our first Omni-Mech. Well, our first clan Omni-Mech with embedded clan technology, such as in the Clan XL engine, which is so amazing, and it's the best engine in the game, and I don't care for all the double XL engines, because those are just suicide devices. Yes, let me put something even more dangerous into my mech to make sure that I actually die when it explodes. Yeah, not exactly on board with that train, but hey, there are some people who want the weight savings, and I suppose for certain fire support mechs it makes sense.